So I've had students recently, when I give these social media talks, they'll ask me about like what camera to buy. And you'll see that I had that camera yesterday that I set up on a tripod because I can record that at a much higher video quality than what's from my phone. But at this point, I make 50% of my content with that phone. I post a video to YouTube these days. It's been about every 2 or 3 days a new video goes up. It's either a talk about business or a body work related something or other, self-care, a lot of diverse content. I started with Facebook because Facebook was the biggest platform and then slowly moved to the other. When my wife had a conversation with me years ago, I tell this story often. I was in my front yard gardening, trying to be Amish and avoiding technology because I thought it was crap. And I thought it made people distant, and I was about connecting and going back to the land and was gardening. And I was very sad because I had no clients. And when I talked to my wife about it, I said, I think I just suck. I think as a massage therapist, I must suck because I don't have clients. And my wife, who knows me very well, said, listen, there's nothing wrong with your body work. You have no clue of how to run a business. And I'm like, what do I need? She's older than I am. She's run a business before. And she's like, you need a website, you need social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you need a Twitter. Once you got to Twitter, I said, don't talk to me anymore. I have to go do yoga. I'm going to punch somebody in the face. I have no idea how a social media platform with 140 characters is going to help me build a business. Now, I post to Twitter daily. See the difference? I had to embrace all of that and started using it. I recommend Facebook. Facebook is the platform that most people are on. It's the one that most people use, and then you move on to other platforms. How many of you are on Snapchat? How many of you use Snapchat in any way, shape, or form for business? I have people from Norway contact me and video chat with me about business.
Would you recommend combining your business with your life?
What works for you? You combine your business with your life, personal and professional. What works for you?
I would rather not, but I don't know if that would be smart or not. Like, do you want them to relate to you, or do you want them to know, like, who you are?
What do you mean? I'm confused.
Like, if you share your
Professional
Facebook-
and personal. What's the
Yeah.
separation?
You want to mix them?
Oh, I see. I would separate them, for sure.
For me, increasingly, they're the same. I do joke with my wife about the private Snapchat, which is where I charge you to see the behind-the-scenes stuff where I curse and say things that I would never actually say in class. Because I do tailor what's on my social media, but increasingly my social media is me. Professionally, it's me. So here's the thing, like there's a class of 21 students. This is how I really feel about it. What I need is 4 or 5 of you to really connect with my message and dedicate the rest of your lives to mastering what we're doing. The rest of you don't matter to me. And that's not saying like I'm not excluding anybody in any way. What I'm saying is I realize that I'm not going to resonate with everybody. Make sense? I had a student years ago, he asked me, he's like, do you need more clients? And I was like, nah. He's like, do you need more students? I'm like, eh. And he's like, dude, what do you need? I'm like, believers. He's like, how many do you need? I'm like, Jesus only needed 12. Because the thing is, what I'm trying to do is connect very deeply with students, very deeply with clients. I'm never going to be mass market. Does that make sense? There's only so much of me to go around. What I have to do is develop very strong connections with the people who resonate with my message, with what I'm talking about, and then build from there. So when I talk about you connecting between professional and personal, you get to determine how strong that is. Make sense? There are mornings when I wake up and I've got bed hair and I'm like laying in bed. I haven't brushed my teeth and I open up my Snapchat and say, good morning. But that's my choice. Make sense? Each of the platforms that I post on has slightly different content because I use them in myriad ways depending on how things function. So like this right now is on Facebook Live. I don't have any anxiety about basically streaming anything I'm saying to the rest of the world. And I'm going to take this video, download it, and then upload it to my YouTube, and it'll be available forever, basically. Make sense? But that's my choice. It depends on how you want to structure it. What I do notice is we have a deeply intimate job. We have to connect with people. If people want to work with Anthony, they want to work with Anthony because he's Anthony. Does that make sense? The thing is, what I do is I use my social media content to provide that layer of connection. I work in my home studio, which is a garage. It's a private home studio. It's a garage. Now, do women want to get a session with a guy that they have never met?
I massage envy maybe, but not.
Now, guess how many new clients I get that are female all the time, who leave 5-star reviews on my Yelp profile. And here's what they tell me. I'm working on them, and they say, you know, I was a little worried you might be a serial killer. And I was like, yes, I've dedicated years to my craft as a sociopath to set things up to get those 25 5-star Yelp reviews to trick you to pull a Dexter or whatever. And the thing is, they always laugh. But I'm like, what made you decide to come in? And they say, this is where it flips. They say, listen, I found you on Yelp. I looked at your website and I found your YouTube channel. I watched like 5 of your videos. And it was completely obvious that you were a professional and you deeply cared about what you were doing. You got them over the hump. The thing is, people will ask me sometimes, how many clients do you get because of your social media? This is going on Facebook Live. Can I monetize this one video? In other words, does somebody see this one video and come get a session? Unlikely. What happens is it builds my professional library. It builds a catalog of information and content. It documents my online story, my storytelling platform, Facebook stories, Instagram stories, Instagram live. Make sense? What it does is it allows them to connect with me. The consumer is going to decide very quickly whether they want what I do or not. But when I give them more content, photos, videos, text, blog posts, whatever, what does the public assume about me? Yep, expert. So you hit a website. It can be a very good website. It's all text. What do you think? Boring. You hit a website. There's some text and photos, videos, informational content. You know, exactly. They esteem you as being more of a professional, regardless of whether the body work is good or not. Does it make sense? And the whole thing is you're just crafting an image. My website is my front desk. I have online scheduling. I left here yesterday, and when I got home, I got a phone call from somebody I did not know who said, my daughter is having a migraine. I'd really love for her to be able to get a session with you today. And I said, I would really love to work with her, but I just got out of class. I have no energy to be able to see a client today. I'm teaching again tomorrow. If you go to my online scheduler, they can schedule for a future session. And I think I may have mentioned, listen, there are some YouTube videos where I show some simple like neck stuff she can do using a foam roll, if you'd like to check those out. So how does that come across when you think about that, like offering that additional piece?
Just you're secure.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, it's connection. What you want to do, in my experience, is, especially as a massage therapist, is you want to be able to connect with people. So one of the things that I did long ago was I shot video content showing people how to work on themselves. Guys, I get YouTube comments from people all over the world who thank me for showing them how to use a YouTube video to work on their coracobrachialis. And they'll leave a YouTube comment and say, listen, I've had shoulder pain for years, and in 15 minutes it went away because I did what you taught me in that video. Who wins? And they win. And then how do other people respond when they see those comments? And that's what you're building over time. The young lady in Hawaii who just wrote me and said, hey, I was in a scooter accident, but I watch your videos. I'm the most requested therapist in my school. I said, listen, thank you so much for writing that. That's awesome. I'm glad that's the case. Can you write a Yelp review for me? You can just cut and paste 5 stars. What does somebody think when somebody I have never physically put my hands on, watched videos and learned how to do stuff, and left a 5-star review? They're in Hawaii, I'm in Texas. What does the public think of that?
Spectacular.
they're like, man, if he can teach somebody in a video, his body work must be great. They're making all sorts of assumptions, whether or not they're true, but you're trying to maximize that as much as possible. Right now, I'm trying to find another videographer because I almost literally want somebody to follow me around 24 hours a day and record my life so I can upload it, because I'm going to make millions of dollars teaching around the world, because I have dreams. And Snoop Dogg is going to be a client. Because I would like to. I would love to work with people of that caliber if I had a chance. You know, if I had to choose people I'm going to hang out with, it makes sense. For you, it's a matter of using that technology. It's very inexpensive. What does that cost me? Facebook Live. And that is why Mark Zuckerberg is a billionaire, or however much money he makes. Brilliant to create that platform. He allows me to use it for free, but it allows me to build my presence. If you follow my social media, when you follow my social media, not only am I giving you content as students, I don't want you to just focus on getting education from the content. In other words, the information in the content. I want you to do what I'm doing. I want you to use your social media channels the way I'm using my social media channels. Remy, what's your name again? Donnie. So Donnie makes a self-care like workbook or video series. And he says, yo, Robert, he writes me on my business Facebook page, I just created this self-care like video series. Do you mind if I promote this through your fans? And I go, Donnie, I have 7,000 people on my email list. Do you mind if I share this with them? How does he feel? And here's what I have right now. My students are not producing content that I can then share, because I'm producing the content. Everybody else is using that to consume. I'm using it to produce. That phone and something like Facebook Live gives me the power that Hollywood had 60 years ago in my pocket. Very powerful, and it's not going away. It's getting stronger. Social media, just in the time that I've really been paying attention to it, has morphed immeasurably. I was huge about Snapchat when I first discovered it. It's a completely different platform. It is so different than Facebook. But slowly what happened is Mark Zuckerberg approached the people at Snapchat to buy them. They refused to sell, and now Mark Zuckerberg, guess Facebook owns Instagram. You know that, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
So now what is happening is they're adapting Instagram to take on features that are more like Snapchat because they're trying to crush them. And I get to see this play out on these multiple platforms that I'm using. Just use it. If it makes you anxious, just do as much as feels comfortable to you. Go ahead.
Yes, so why anxious, right? So especially when it comes to promoting massage or education, I've only been doing this for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
You started doing social media after a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I feel like if I produced original content, I would be afraid that it would be, incorrect, or I would want to be worried about, or I would just have to be ripping from other people directly.
If it's incorrect, update it. If it's not good enough, improve it. Here's what I tell students when I come into TLC. They're in school. They started 3 weeks ago. They talk to me because they're trying to find out about being a sole practitioner, not working for somebody else. I'm like, listen, start a website now. Start all of your social media channels now. And every day when you come in, check into school, Facebook Live your class, document what you're doing, and take the public along through your educational process in massage school and teach them the origin and insertion of the bicep. Teach them which nerve innervates that muscle.
So, question for women.
Yes. This is a hot issue. I'm ready.
I know.
I'm taking
Black
on
and
my
white.
armor. Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking about the balance between getting yourself out there on a website, whatever, Facebook, wherever, and protecting yourself from weirdos who will hurt you.
Okay. I have been ripped to shreds running the Massage Entrepreneurs Group because of this issue. I was called a misogynist and told the word mansplaining was tossed around several times. So we operate a business, right? We have something we sell. What's wrong with going out and approaching people and trying to sell it?
Nothing wrong with trying to sell
Now, granted, I am male, so I interact with the world very differently. I am at a strategic disadvantage in our industry. I use that and everything I can in social media to get over that hump. And I'm not going to stop. You have to determine what works for you, and here's what I recommend. I would use the social media as much as possible to make your practice so completely full of the right clients that creepy clients don't have a time slot available. Does it make sense? Yeah. That's generally how I would deal with it. You're going to have to figure out what works for you. I had a female therapist. She was just south of San Francisco, and she said, I could never have a home studio. She was adamant, almost angry about it, full of vitriol. And I said, listen, how much is your rent? And she's like, it's $18,000 a year. And I said, listen, I know you can't have a home studio. It doesn't work for you. But how would you feel about having an $18,000 a year advertising budget? Because that's what I have. Because my studio is a tax write-off. It doesn't cost me money. Make sense? So you're going to have to deal with those in the way that works best to you. What I would recommend is find other people, not necessarily massage therapists, other business owners, small business owners who are marketing in a way that resonates for you. They're storytelling in a way that resonates for you. Maybe they make necklaces on their own Instagram. And you see all the pretty photos that they post, or videos they post of people wearing their jewelry, talking about the jewelry, talking about the stones, the quality, the craftsmanship, whatever. Whatever resonates for you, follow those people and do that. I follow Gary Vee. Gary Vee says it's totally fine for me to wear whatever the hell I want, to drop the F-bomb when it's appropriate, and to be me and wear sneakers. I follow him obsessively, and I have basically done what he's talking about, and here's what happens. The more my business grows, people keep saying you can't do that. And I'm like, tell my bank account. Like, it's working. There's 21 people in here. Now, it's taken like 8 years of constant, almost daily work to get here, but I'm making a living, and I'm doing something that I enjoy, and it's not only enriching my clients' lives, but I can reach out to more people through you guys. Because when I work with her, she's able to work with her clients, save her body, do better work, develop more affluence. Make sense? I think that you have to pick what works for you. You may just decide, listen, I have a website, a very minimal social media presence, and I'm using Google AdWords. I get regular clients, I'm full. Well, then you've done all you need to do. I have the additional component of not just doing body work, but education. I had to ship materials to Norway. It cost $60 to ship those workbooks and DVDs. And I went, let's make international orders digital only. I didn't realize shipping, because I don't think of that as my target. Does it make sense? When I started, I had no notion of teaching people who lived in Southeast Asia. Like, I had somebody in Lebanon, somebody in Beirut just purchased my table tie videos, right? Because they're online. It's like the world now, correct? So did you have any more questions about that? Like, how do you deal with it as a female?
Not really.
Yeah.
I was wondering if any of the women had any concerns about it, or any thoughts about how you can screen as you get yourself out there more and more on websites and social media, and all, how
You record and document all that information and you put it out. When I post YouTube videos, people come in and they say you're fat. That's Psyche Truth. We'll post a video sometimes, it'll get like way over 100,000 views, one video. People come in and say I'm fat, and I come in and comment and go, no haters, no gain. And then somebody will come in and comment, yeah, because you got a lot of gain, porky pig. And then what do? I take out my video camera, sit down and make a video where I read mean YouTube comments, and people crack up. Because I'm transparent about how that works. Make sense? But that's my choice. You have to figure out how it's going to work for you. It's difficult for me to say what's best practice across gender lines. So here's the thing. What if you're gay? Are you open? Are you out? You see what I mean? Like, there's all, you're trans. Maybe you're like actually going through a transition where one day maybe you want to have a surgery. Are you out about that? I see that occasionally come up on Facebook groups. And the thing is, generally, what I'd say is my practice, I'm very like rainbow. Like, wherever you are, it doesn't matter to me at all. All I want to know is how you treat your neighbors. race, creed, class, gender, sexuality, gender preference, LGBTQA, asexual. I hadn't heard the A before. Had it on the end. It's like, I don't care where people are. It's just, do you treat people well? Then you're my brother. Then you're fine. So it just depends on like how you want to market. Make sense? I don't think that I get a lot of fundamentalist Christian clients. I don't know if I could figure out why, but it's not my market, right? So the thing is, for me, the sort of transparency that comes with social media and Facebook Live allows me to draw what? My target market, because it allows people who resonate with me and my message to come to me. And that is what, Donnie? That's what he needs. They go, I don't like people with curly hair. He's like, well, so go see somebody else, right?
How long have you been doing social media?
For the past 8 or so years, pretty heavily. Once I start, I mean, it's this real slow growth. It did, like, if you looked at all my social media now, you're like, oh my God, so much. But it built up. Like, people will ask me sometimes about, like, time management. Listen, I got here this morning. Before I got out of my car, I posted 2 or 3 different videos to Snapchat and my Instagram stories. Hey, I'm in Lockstein Conway. The class is going great. Table tie students. Y'all follow me on Instagram, right? Y'all saw that, right? No. Why? Do you not want more free content and education? Because that's how you get it.
I don't want to stare at a screen any more than I already do.
Okay, so don't. But that's the thing, but you get to choose, right? What I tell people is I really respect Eric Dalton's body work, okay? In some ways, I jokingly say I'm going to crush educators like Eric Dalton. And it's because of that. I use that obsessively. I have students. I got a client recently from Snapchat. Have any of you ever gotten a client from Snapchat? Because a guy met me in Dallas. He followed me on Snapchat. He continued to, like, he'd write me every so often on Snapchat and ask a question. I'd video chat with him back and forth. And then he was literally with his friend video chatting, and his friend came from Dallas and got a session with me when he was in Austin.
I reposted a photo from the MS-150 a couple years ago, because you know Facebook is like 3 years ago you did this.
Yeah.
So I reposted and I was like, this was the best massage office ever. And then a friend of mine was like, I didn't know you did massage. My boyfriend needs a massage. Made $90.
Uh-huh.
Out of nowhere, I didn't even.
And the thing is, what I see consistently, and the thing is, it's challenging, I think, across gender lines when you're dealing with being a female in our culture. I think I'm trying to be more sensitive to those issues, but I don't want you to be afraid either. Does it make sense? Long term, what I see massage therapists doing, I run the Massage Entrepreneurs Group. There's over 3,000 members where we talk about kind of best practices. I'm completely hot on social media. I'm hot on social media to the point where people like a year ago were like, do you get clients from social media? And I'm like, no. And they're like, so why do you keep telling therapists to use social media? I'm like, because they're not. Because if you're the only therapist in Austin who's actually using Snapchat to actually promote your business, you are the only one. You stand out. Do you know any other massage therapist that makes regular YouTube videos consistently? Guess who owns YouTube? Google. Now, do you know why Google owns YouTube? You ever heard of keyword searches? Search engine optimization? When I produce 20 different videos on carpal tunnel and they can tell I'm in the Austin area, guess what people find? And guess who gets clients with carpal tunnel who then laughs at them and, yeah. And I win. Make sense? Long term, it's just using it to reach out to who works for you. Most therapists seem, in my experience, they're using social media to sell. Hey, come get a session. Hey, come get a session. Hey, come get a session. I'm a massage therapist. Hey, come get a session. You know what I do? Hey, I'm going to show you how to work on yourself. Hey, I'm over at school teaching. Hey, I had a client the other day at carpal tunnel. I'm going to tell you a little story. Hey, I was in a car accident years ago. I did this thing in my neck. I'm going to talk about this splenius capitis and splenius cervicis muscle. Causes a lot of people problems. I've had problems with mine, so I'm going to show you how to work on it. Guess who then get clients? Because I'm really just using these platforms to tell stories, and I'm telling my story, and people resonate with that, and then they can decide. They know I offer stuff, right? Even when I'm running webinars now to sell retail, what am I doing? What I'm doing is I'm putting out a free webinar. How do you feel about free stuff, Donna?
I like it.
He likes free stuff. Most people like free stuff. That's what you're doing. You're giving them some free stuff to draw into your story. And at the end of the webinar, I go, hey, listen, if you really like this, there's more details and information in my materials if you'd like to buy it. Making more money. If you're just approaching it from sales, just to make a sale, I don't think that's what social media is. What do people share and look at on Facebook? That's the big one. What do people share? What do they look at?
Videos.
Videos of what?
Anything. Cats.
Cats. And if you have cats and you love cats, let people know that you are a cat lover because you want other cat lover clients. And they don't know about their cats. So you say, listen, this is how you massage your cat. And you show them, listen, the anatomy on felines is actually very similar. They're mammals. They have hair just like humans. So we're going to work on their paraspinals right here. Oh, see that? Oh, fluffy. Yeah. Who doesn't want to see that? You're laughing. You're laughing. She's going to be famous. She's going to be a famous YouTuber with 1 million subscribers who just want to see her cat massage videos. And that's the thing. It's like people share stuff that's funny, humorous, educational. I don't think that my videos, for instance, when I'm dealing with what I think of as storytelling, one of the things I do not play up in any way, shape, or form is like, I'm sexy. Doesn't work for me, right? I'm just saying, it's just my thing. Like whether people find me attractive or not, or how that factors, we all have to deal with that however we came about genetically. But the thing is, it's not something I focus on. Does it make sense? Do you guys know Austin Deep?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the advertising for Austin Deep over the years? Who laughed?
No, but is it sexy?
Nobody. No, I mean, it might as well have been a girl in a bikini. Nobody's deep like Austin Deep.
Oh my God.
And I was like, whoa, over the moon. Couldn't even believe they would even do that.
What is Austin Deep?
They're a local massage
okay.
facility.
Okay.
Yeah. And they, at one point in time, I'm not sure if Austin Deep is watching this, don't write me hate mail. I don't know if they were even hiring male therapists at one time, like it was all female. There was another guy, Homer Avery, ran ads on Facebook that blew my mind. And Homer Avery had like a picture of him. I think he had like, what are those, is it gauges in their ear? I think he had those. And he said, the safe word is banana. And her face, she's like, oh my God. And it was like massage with a badass. That was it. Badass massage with Avery Homer. The safe word is banana. And I found out, I had to ask some people, who's this guy? I think, do not quote me again, no hate mail. I think Avery is gay. He markets himself within the probably LGBTQ community. Safe word is like a BDSM related thing. Like I would never play that up, right, in my marketing. But for him, it's perfect because does Avery want fundamentalist Christian clients?
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's where like he turned marketing upside down. Like the safe word is banana. I was like, whoa, wow, that's like crazy to me, right? But he's using that to tell his own story. He was running an ad looking for clients. But he's also resonating with a certain group of people who are okay with that sort of marketing. Does that make sense? Like whatever works for me might not work for you. You have to really find what works best. And that's why in the entrepreneurs group, even though I'm the admin, it's not a top-down model where I tell you what to do. No, because you have to find what's best practice for you. And that means that Danielle and other people are giving advice, feedback. Danielle runs a group called the Massage and Bodywork CE Review Group. Have you heard of it? Is anybody a member? Okay. So what it allows you to do is go in and write, do I go low or high? It allows you to go in and write a great review of this class that everybody else can read, and I cannot promote my classes there. It's designed for massage therapists to give feedback about classes and about instructors. Like, what's Donnie's best CE dollar value? She created that. She created that with ethics and transparency because she got frustrated when you couldn't get information about classes. Make sense? Yeah. She's taking advantage of the same social media to try to get good quality continuing education and allow therapists to share information in that forum. In the same way that I use massage entrepreneurs to let therapists talk about best practices. One of the reasons I started Massage Entrepreneurs is I got to the end. I read Massage Nerd, I read Massage Practice Builder, and they got to a point and they stopped. And then I had to look at other industries, and when I looked at other industries, I was like, my God, what the hell is all this? Like, everybody in my industry is marketing like it's 1990. It's 2017, and the more I adopted practices from these industries, my business grew, but massage therapists started to get huffy and then ask me questions about social media. And they're like, why do you use social media? And I'm like, asking me why I use social media is like asking me why you use the telephone in 1985. It's like asking you why would you run a TV ad? You know what I mean? It's like what you're asking me is why am I using the most potent communication tool ever invented to promote my business? That's what I feel like I'm being asked. Make sense? Your content is going to reflect you, and it's going to reflect what you do. Find people who do the things you like and replicate it in some form. When you talked about copy, listen. Professionals steal, amateurs borrow. If you go out and make a video, and I do this occasionally, I garden, so I sometimes post content related to that, and I make food, so I post a lot of food related content. If I make a little Instagram video where I show people how to make spring rolls, how do people respond? You like spring rolls?
Yeah.
You gonna like my post?
Oh, yeah.
And I hashtag spring roll, hashtag Vietnamese, hashtag shrimp, hashtag whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody from the shrimp industry, some Asian restaurant, whatever, are like liking my page and following me. What does it have to do with my business directly?
You might get more clients.
If my clients like spring rolls, makes sense? Like it's sort of a mixed bag, but the thing is, I'm just offering free stuff. I'm not just asking for a sale. Also, the thing is, they connect with the fact that I'm a human. They connect with my flaws. They connect with my foibles. They connect with my sense of humor. I left here yesterday. I went to Pine House Brew Pub. I got a beer. I took a photo of the beer, hashtag beer, checked in at Pine House Brew Pub, said it was a great Thai massage class, hashtag massage on Twitter. And people find that, and you get followers long term. But it's long term just telling a story. You can't expect to post on Facebook and immediately get a client. It just doesn't work that way. That's not the sort of platform it is. Right now I have about 200 videos on my YouTube channel. When I tell you that, what do you think of me? If I have 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel, what do you think of me?
Also committed.
Committed, dedicated. Yeah, it's like, and the thing is, it doesn't mean anything, right? Like, there's all sorts of variables that go along with that. But generally, that's the way the public looks at it, and you just want to take advantage of it. Do you guys have any other questions specifically about like social media platforms, how you use them, anything?
Oh, do you have any software that like links all of them? So do you do any streamlining or optimization like that?
I had a programmer recently, we were having a conversation about this, and he said, it's sort of like, if this, then that, or something like that. It was some website where you could set up things strategically so that if you posted to Twitter, it would take the same thing and post it to Instagram. But in a way that sort of seemed maybe more organic than like Hootsuite. Some people schedule this stuff in advance. I do mine very organically. Twitter becomes restroom. I got 5 minutes, hashtag, whatever. I'm sitting there, I'm not reading a book. I got my phone, I'm doing Twitter, right? It allows me to then save that content. This is Facebook Live. We'll post this. This will go to my main Facebook page today. When I get home tonight, I will download it from my computer and then upload it to my YouTube channel. It's the same video, but now I'm posting across multiple platforms. Make sense? Then I'm going to take a link from the YouTube video and then post it in my YouTube so people can watch it. Then I'm going to take the link from here and then later post it to G+, maybe a day from now. And it's like it's all mixed. My content is organic because when you follow me, I actually want you to feel like you're following me. If you tweet me a message, I'm going to reply 9 times out of 10. People are often amazed at the degree to which I'll respond. Students or potential students freak out. They're like, dude, you'll actually talk to me on Snapchat? I'm like, yes. And that is how I will crush Eric Dalton. Because Eric Dalton is not on Snapchat. And I'm only teasing Eric Dalton, by the way. His work is great. It's just the social media content is more where I'm going to win. There's going to be a million 19 and 20-year-old therapists who are going to want to travel from all over to study with me because they've never seen anybody use social media and engaging with people the way that I am. More questions? Social media? Anything?
I just wanted to make the comment that I don't know what part of what you said made some things click for me,
Yeah.
but it just happened. So like that, thanks. I'm glad I'm here and could hear that, and I have a little bit better understanding on how to use social media, and I feel good about it.
Photos, videos. People are very visual. Video, if you look at video, there was Periscope, which is now Twitter Live. Instagram now has Instagram Live. Facebook now has Facebook Live and Facebook Stories. It's becoming increasingly video dense. And then I never understood what augmented reality was until Snapchat. Snapchat, when I used it, wait, raise your hand if you use Snapchat with any regularity. Do you use filters all the time?
Yeah.
Dude, filters blew my mind. And the thing is, Snapchat, I think one of the reasons it blew me away so much because I'd never had a social media platform that I played with.
Yeah.
It was like literally this thing where I could go in, I was going to post informational content, and I would stay and play because I wanted to see what the other filters were. And I'm like, whoa, this one made me skiing on a slope and I'm drinking a Red Bull.
It's true.
Oh, whoa, this one turned me into a unicorn. I'm getting one of them unicorn drinks at Starbucks. Augmented reality, man, like on top of whatever I was filming. My favorite one is it makes me an old lady. I posted this on my YouTube channel. You can go see it. Snapchat videos are just like 10 seconds.
My kids do it. I'm so thankful
Yeah.
I'm teenagers.
Yeah.
They can help me
'Cause they'll
navigate
play.
everything.
But the thing is, it made you an old lady. You had like rollers in your hair. It was all great. You had these big pink glasses and pink lips. And it's like, it just absolutely, every time it comes on, I'm like, this is my favorite one. I love this filter, you know, just because it's fun, it's playful. Long term, what I see is the social media platforms will continue to grow. I think if you don't use them long term, I think you lose. You're losing out on free marketing. You can literally use them as platforms for education. That's what I'm doing. And it's like I do get clients from it consistently. It's had to build over the years, but I do get clients from it. The reason I'm harping on it is therapists are broke and you need to make money. That is free. Once you pay for that phone, it's free. Mark Zuckerberg does not charge me to do this Facebook Live. And in fact, if I go in right now and post something to Facebook, a very small percentage of the people who like my page will see it. When I do this Facebook Live, guess how many more people get to see it? You know why? Facebook Live is using more video content because they're trying to keep people on their platform. And what they figured out is statistically, if I post a video and people watch it, and let's say people just stayed on this video for 5 minutes, they're not even going to watch the whole thing. If they stay on this video for 5 minutes, you have a greater likelihood of seeing other Facebook ads because you stayed on Facebook's platform. And Mark Zuckerberg is rewarding me for using his platform and trying to help him make more money. Make sense? So happy to chat about any of this. If you have questions, if you follow me on my social media platforms, I have your emails. I'm going to send you an email. It's going to have links to my YouTube, my Snapchat, my Twitter, my Instagram, all of that. Follow me. You can even compare platforms and see what the difference is from place to place. When you come in and talk to me on those platforms, that actually increases more business. Usually it means I'll follow you, and when Donnie produces great content, I can share that. Kind of boost him as well. You guys have any other questions about that? I talk about this obsessively. I almost enjoy the business more than the body work now. Yeah. Good? Okay, good. Thank you.